Hi, I'm Epiphany, and I just read this, and now I'm going to give my reactions to it. So, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. This is also simplistic. It's also very, very primitive. I mean, of course it would be. But it's like primitives trying to explain complex things to us that we've already figured out all of this is wrong. Like, do we really think that this is an explanation, that God is the one who saw light and said it was day and the darkness was night? And that it's also very primitive. I don't understand. And it's very repetitive too. That's another thing. Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants, and trees on the land that bear fruit and seed in it, according to the various kinds. You say one thing, then flip it around and say it with the words switched around. It's still saying the same thing. Seed-bearing plants and the land that bear fruit with seed in it. It does it in several places where it's so primitive. The land produced vegetation. It was doing that a long time ago, before people. And God this, and God said, "Let there be light." And there was light, but we know that nothing about this is correct. It's what they were conjecturing for their time, and for us to look at this and think that they're actually explaining natural processes with a plausible explanation is ridiculous. Okay, so then it's all so redundant. Be fruitful and increase the birds and the animals and a whole verse to there was evening and there was morning, the fifth day. God made the wild animals according to their kind, the livestock according to their kind. So, again, it's also simplistic. He made this and he made that. This verse I found interesting, 26. Then God said, "Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish." So this is, to me, so I'll finish it out. So they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock, over all the wild animals. They get dominion of the earth, essentially. So here's where humankind gives themselves permission to have dominion over the earth, but using God. Because there's one God. This is monotheism. It is a monolith. God is a monolith. But then God says, "Let us." This is not like a royal we that is talking about a group of people, a group of gods. I mean, this is such a sticking point for Christians, even though, technically Catholicism is is polytheistic because it still believes in three things that are one. That's still polytheism. Don't get me started on that. So in Genesis 26, they give themselves permission to use God to do whatever they want to do. It's right there. And I think that is the main takeaway of the entire Bible, if you want to know the truth, in my opinion, is to give yourself permission to do stuff that you want to do and say that God said that what you do is okay and what somebody else is doing wrong. So it's giving self-dominion over everyone and everything under the name of God. So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. God blessed them and said to them, "Be fruitful and increase in number." So right there in 27, Genesis 1:27, he says he made them male and female. It doesn't, I know this isn't the spot where it usually says that stuff. There are two versions of Genesis, I know. We'll get to the ribby one. But again, it goes from plural, "let us," to singular, "God," and he created them. And then he gives them dominion over the earth, just like he said he would, or he said they would. And that's the end of Genesis 1. So that's my take on it. I feel like right there they set up the entire thing to just continuously justify every single thing visited throughout the rest of the Bible. No matter what version you look at, that's the one right there that tells you everything you need to know. God said it was okay. God let me. So I'm going to go on to the next chapter. I'll see you in Genesis chapter 2.